Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something that's literally the heart of your home, even though you probably almost never look at it. We're talking about the 200 amp electrical panel.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. You're just chilling in your living room, right? And then wham, the air conditioner kicks on, and for just a split second, the lights dim. Sound familiar? It happens to a lot of us. And believe it or not, that's actually your house trying to tell you something really important.
So what's it trying to say? Well, it's screaming that our homes are more power-hungry than ever before. I mean, think about it. We've got EVs charging in the garage, heat pumps, giant TVs, maybe a whole home office setup. All this new stuff is putting a massive strain on electrical systems that, frankly, were designed for a totally different era.
So, let's dive into that. Section 1. Your home's power problem. We're going to look at the telltale signs that your electrical system is waving a little white flag, struggling to keep up. You know, some of these symptoms are pretty obvious, right? Like if your breakers are tripping all the time, you know something's up. But what about the more subtle stuff? That little flicker in the lights we talked about, or maybe a faint buzzing sound coming from the panel. Those are the early warnings. And listen, if you ever feel that the panel is warm to the touch, or worse, you smell something burning, that is not a wait-and-see situation. That's a call an electrician right now situation. Seriously.
All right, so if your home is having a power problem, what's the solution? Well, let's meet the hero of our story today, the 200 amp panel.
So what is it exactly? The simplest way to think about it is that the 200 amp panel is the new, stronger heart for your home's electrical system. It's the main hub. It takes all that juice coming in from the street and safely, efficiently pumps it out to every single circuit in your house, from the toaster in the kitchen all the way to that EV charger you've been dreaming about. I love this analogy. Think about it like this. An old 100 amp service, that's like a little two-lane country road. Sure, it was fine back in the 70s, but now it's just a constant traffic jam. Upgrading to a 200 amp service is like tearing that out and building a massive, multi-lane superhighway for your electricity. It can handle everything you've got now with plenty of open lanes for whatever comes next. Okay, so that's the big question, isn't it? How do you know if this is something you actually need for your house? Let's figure that out. So let's break it down. Back in the day, a 100 amp service was perfectly fine. Your home probably had gas for heating and hot water, fewer big appliances, no problem. But fast forward to today, if you have central AC, an electric stove, an electric dryer, or if you're even thinking about getting an EV or solar panels, a 200 amp service stops being a luxury and becomes the absolute standard. It's just what a modern home requires. All right, so here's a quick checklist for you. As I go through these, see how many you're nodding your head to. Breakers tripping all the time? Lights dimming when the fridge kicks on? Is the panel cover warm? Do you see any rust or corrosion? And here's a big one. Is your panel more than 25 years old? If you said yes to even one or two of these, it's a huge sign that you should get a professional to come take a look, because these aren't just little quirks, they can be real safety hazards. Let's look at a real-world example that's becoming super common, the EV charger. So your typical home might be cruising along, using maybe 80 amps of its total capacity at peak. But then you add a level 2 EV charger. That thing is a continuous load, meaning it can pull a solid 40 amps for hours on end. Suddenly, your demand spikes to 120 amps. See the problem? On an old 100 amp panel, you're already over the limit. Things are going to start tripping. But on a 200 amp panel, you've still got plenty of breathing room. Okay, let's say you're convinced. You're thinking, yep, I might need an upgrade. The next logical questions are, what does that even look like? And of course, the big one, what's it going to cost me? Let's break it all down and demystify the whole process. The first thing you have to understand is that this is not a simple DIY swap. It's a full-on, coordinated project. It all starts with a qualified electrician doing a proper load calculation to see what you actually need. Then come the permits. Then they have to coordinate with your utility company to shut off the power to your house. They'll rip out the old panel, install the new one, reconnect all your circuits, torquing every lug to the exact right spec, upgrade your whole grounding system for safety, and only then, after a final inspection, does the power get turned back on. It's a process.
All right, let's talk about the money. Now, the cost can vary a lot, and that's because no two jobs are exactly the same. We have to ask, is this just a simple, straightforward panel swap, or are we talking about a complete overhaul of the main service line coming into your house?
So, if it's just a basic panel replacement, you're keeping the existing meter and wiring outside, you might be looking at somewhere between, say, $1,500 and $3,000.
But a full 200 amp service upgrade, which is honestly what most people need, is more likely to be in that $3,000 to $6,000 range. That covers the new meter, the new service wires, the new grounding, all of it. And of course, if you have a really complex job, maybe with long underground wiring or something tricky, the cost can go up from there.
So, yeah, no, that's a significant chunk of change. But the best way to look at this is not as a repair bill, but as a real investment in your home. This is about setting your house up to handle everything you're going to throw at it for the next 20 years.
So what does that investment actually buy you? Well, first and foremost, you're buying safety. You're dramatically reducing the risk of an electrical fire from an old, overloaded panel. You're buying capability. The freedom to run all your modern appliances, your AC, your EV charger, all at once without worry. You're buying future readiness, so when you decide to get solar panels or a home battery, you're all set. And you're adding real, tangible value to your property. A new, up-to-code electrical system is a massive selling point.
And that really is the bottom line, isn't it? This isn't just about spending money to fix a problem. It's about adding lasting value and, honestly, peace of mind to what's probably your single biggest investment, your home.
So, I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Take a look around your home. Think about the technology you use every day, and then think about what you might want in the next 5, 10, even 20 years. Is the electrical heart of your home actually ready for that future, or is it still stuck in the past? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.